What are the big banks waiting for? In this video, I really want to just show you guys what's happening, what's really going on, and how significant Ripple has become. And we're talking about how significant they have become around the massive banking industry that we know of today, and how they are going to be the facilitators of bringing the big banks on chain. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hope by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Also, if you guys do want to get access to a great exchange, one that is 24/7 customer support enabled, and one that is also catering to the US industry, that is enabling US investors to have access to some great projects that you can invest into, and also an exchange that is fully regulated that allows you to actually trust this exchange and know that this exchange is going to be, up and running even at some of the most stressful times in the market. Caleb and Brown is your best friend. I've been utilizing this exchange over the last couple weeks, and I honestly have zero complaints. It's one of the best ones in the space that I have tested. Now, do they have all of the crypto assets that I like to go and buy and sell and trade? Not exactly, but again, it is a regulated crypto exchange, so they have to make sure that they are keeping in mind, best practices when they are listing projects on this exchange. But try it out, check it out. If you guys do like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, and that's it. But let's dive on in and let's actually talk about a few things. Number one is crypto custody. So this goes all the way back to January of 2024. That's right, we're going all the way back in time because, again, some of the older news in this space is very important to know about today. So this was at Ripple Swell 2023, where we saw some of the biggest names out there around finance talking about what's going on. Specifically, here we have Ripple and Zodiac Custody, two great beliefs that Ripple and Zodiac Custody with Ripple Swell 2023 to buy. Number one, blockchain is here to stay. Number two, everything starts with custody. When you get custody right, then we can create interesting solutions on top of that. This is very important to focus on. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Julian, so I'm the CEO of Zodiac Custody. We were created by Standard Chartered Ventures 4 years ago as a standalone custodian. We also have Northern Trust and SBI and our shareholder. I think what is interesting is why were we created outside the bank even though we are a subsidiary of Standard Chartered? And that I think is oil tankers and speedboats, and we know that story pretty well. But I think the underpinning belief is really twofold. One is that blockchain is here to stay, and secondly, kind of as Adrian said in his opening speech, is that everything starts with custody. And if you get custody right, safe, secure place for your assets, then we can create interesting solutions on top of that.
Now, of course, Adrian Trissani, who is all the way on the left in this video clip, as you guys can see right here, that was the previous CEO of Medico, which Ripple did, of course, acquire. Now, with acquiring Medico, they did acquire all of the clientele, which I did outline here on X as well. I said people seem to overlook the partnerships that Medico had prior to Ripple acquiring them. And I did mention all of those big players here that even Ripple did have as well. And of course, there's probably hundreds or even thousands of names that we don't even know about in terms of NDAs. But I bring this up because it's very important, right? If you do get custody right, you can move on and create very interesting solutions. We just saw that the FDIC, which is the big player, right? The big player behind banks, they will revise crypto guidelines and push for custody services for banks, tokenized deposits that could put some checking accounts on blockchains. Incredible news for American blockchain networks. We could see every bank in the United States tokenize. And yeah, this is a very big deal, especially when we think about custody services. If they can get the custody services right, then they can move on to anything. Now, Ripple is a very big player around the custody market. In fact, they just made a post on February 5th. The custody market is set to exceed 100 billion by 2033, fueled by tokenized assets. To stay ahead, custodians need bank-grade security, 24/7 access, and compliance. Now, in this breakdown, it's very short, very simple, nothing too crazy, right? How custodians can meet institutional crypto custody needs. The global custody services market is expected to grow from 41 billion in 2023 to more than 100 billion by 2033. Digital assets are driving this boom, and there is ample opportunity for custody providers across the finance industry to capitalize on this budding technology. As institutional adoption of digital assets accelerates, clients are looking for more than safekeeping. They expect sophisticated bank-grade infrastructure that balances robust regulatory compliance with seamless around-the-clock usability. Digital asset custodians that meet this call to facilitate use cases around custody, governance, and trading can differentiate themselves from other providers and carve out their share of this multi-billion-dollar market, which is exactly what Ripple is doing with Ripple Custody. Now, they did provide us a guide. If you guys do want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to, but I'm not going to, simply to save time. But here we have the case for crypto custody. Custodians are critical to the global financial ecosystem, serving as trusted partners for the storage and management of financial assets. But the growth of blockchain and digital assets presents new potential and challenges for custodians. More than 10% of the world's assets are expected to be tokenized by 2030, including RWAs like financial instruments, stocks, bonds, ETFs, and even art and carbon credits. This wave of digital transformation reshaping the custody landscape calls for a next-generation solution. The 24/7 nature of digital asset movement and trading requires that crypto custodians provide institutional clients constant accessibility without compromising security. Digital asset custodians must also support all relevant Layer 1 blockchains, higher throughput capabilities, and access to trading and liquidity venues. And as transaction volumes increase, custodians must ensure their infrastructure scales effectively without compromising efficiency or global regulatory compliance, supporting new use cases. And here we have Ripple Custody being mentioned. Beyond these basic capabilities, custodians that deploy an institutional-grade solution like Ripple Custody, which enables customizable control over operating and security models, including flexible deployment or management of private keys, can enable innovative use cases for clients. These could include the issuance and custody of tokenized securities in RWAs or cryptocurrency custody and trading wallets for institutional and retail investors, robust compliance controls and advanced governance frameworks for superior asset protection, becoming a sub-custodian on a global custodians network for enhanced service distribution, seamless access to liquidity providers, exchanges, and lending and staking platforms. And then, of course, we have building tomorrow's digital asset custody infrastructure. By leveraging Ripple Custody, which supports live commercial custody offerings in 20 regulatory jurisdictions, global custodians are primed to capitalize on the emerging trillion-dollar market opportunity. Ripple Custody provides a competitive advantage by removing the frictions associated with managing digital assets. Its single, fully integrated platform reduces cost, improves security, and creates efficiencies, all while ensuring compliance and unlocking new revenue streams. When we think about this, and when we think about Ripple, okay, I want to go back to the list because, again, it all starts with custody. If all of these big banks now have a custody provider, because again, all of these players were utilizing Medico, which now did become Ripple Custody, that means that they can now build out solid tokenization grade use cases or any major use case with Ripple. For example, DZ Bank is a customer spotlighted player that Ripple has been posting recently. And when we think about DZ Bank, they have done things very, very well with their digital custody platform. In fact, here we have DZ Bank's digital custody platform, a new era in asset management, volume of 350 billion euros in assets under custody. And if we actually go over here, we have DZ Bank, Ripple Custody, and XRP with RLUSD. Partnered earlier last year with Bors Stuttgart to offer retail crypto services for a community of over 737 cooperative banks in Germany. And when we think about this, it also does include SBI. These big banks are already starting to move into major services around crypto. But remember, this all really started with custody in mind. DZ Bank was one of the first major players to utilize Medico, which now became Ripple Custody. And also remember that Monica Long, the president of Ripple, agreed with what Frank Shapiro said over on X. And for those that don't know about this post, here we have January 13th. Once large banks can start custodying crypto, they will be able to do anything. Credit equals more liquidity, major tailwind for crypto market structure and tampering volatility soon. And yeah, it all starts with custody. Just like the beginning video told you, once they start custodying crypto, they will be able to do anything. And here we have from Monica Long saying, agree. 15 of the top 25 largest banks globally have already piloted tokenized asset projects. I expect several of them to launch market-ready offerings in the US in 2025. If they have clarity from the US government to touch crypto, seems very possible for this to no longer be an issue this year. We now have SAB 121 completely repealed. The FDIC is now enabling big banks. I mean, guys, this is going to get crazy very fast. The big banks have everything they need in place now to go all in on tokenization grade use cases and crypto-based services. Anderson said, another amazing timing for Ripple. Ripple custody, banks will be able to custody crypto with new Trump admin. Combine this with ROUSD, RWA on top of ROUSD, built on the XRP ledger and others, powered by XRP as the bridge for all sorts of transactions. New banking infrastructure. This is big. The biggest banks in the world will use Ripple custody in 2025. Smokedog, Ripple's strategic partnership with Medico is no coincidence. Ripple is already aligned with tier 1 banks globally secure in partnerships that give them 80% coverage of the world's key trade corridors. Now with Trump expected to overturn the SAB 121 veto, US tier 1 banks will finally gain the green light to custody digital assets. This regulatory shift opens the floodgates for utility token momentum, with Ripple's custody platform leveraging the XRP ledger to tokenize real-world assets. Imagine 80% of the world's trade corridors transacting tokenized RWAs via the XRP ledger. The infrastructure is already in place, and the documentation points to this becoming a reality. This isn't speculation, it's happening. And here we actually have that full breakdown of how Ripple deals with hundreds of banks, including some of the largest tier 1s in the world. So we already cover over 80% of the world's crucial trade corridors. Guys, when we think about Ripple, they are at the forefront of this. And here we have the breakdown of how this is going to support higher prices as well, because of the snowball effect around a lot of these major moves being made from this admin. But the big thing that I am fully focused on is the custody side of things, because you get custody right, everything else follows through. And even when we think about custody and we go to tokenization, yeah, it's all based around the XRP ledger. The XRP ledger and XRP are crucial to all of this. But you look at those solutions and you look at the custody solution on their website. I mean, guys, this pertains to everything. Literally everything. Stablecoins, tokenized fiat currencies, tokenized, deposits, tokenized everything. That's exactly what the custody platform is built for. I want you guys to realize how big of a player Ripple is, how many players they already have tied into Ripple. I mean, guys, Ripple is at the forefront. The timing, every single time when it comes to Ripple, the timing is perfect. It's perfect every single time, which should tell you something. It's not just a coincidence. It's not just perfect timing. A lot of this stuff, in my opinion, is planned out. Ripple is becoming a big winner. And if you follow the timeline here, if you follow everything that Ripple is doing, we already heard from, many players at Ripple, including Brad Garlinghouse, including Monica Long, David Schwartz. Everything that they do is to support the XRP ledger and push XRP forward to become one of the most successful digital assets in the space. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.